best center ever. Yes. And we are on target for freedom. Remember, the path to freedom is love. So take a deep breath, and we're going to join together and do our treatment for freedom. I speak my word for myself, my center, and all its members and friends. I know love as the only reality. I am created out of love. Love is what I am. I know this love as absolute freedom in every area of my life, the life of my center, and all who call it home. I know our center's mortgages are paid in full, and I claim for all of us financial freedom with all debts paid and cleared. I release any sense of struggle or wrongdoing. I live in an abundant universe where there is more than enough for all. We experience freedom in every moment by always having more than enough money, vibrant health, and loving relationships. We are who we have come here to be. With hearts open wide, we see the world through the eyes of love. We are blessed, we are rich, and we are free. And so it is. And we use our points of power. I always pay attention. I always tell the truth and tell it quickly. I always ask for what I want when I want it. I always take total responsibility for my experience. I always keep my agreements. And so it is. Thank you, thank you. Welcome home, John.
Yay.
Was I gone somewhere? Oh. I'm back. Oh, yeah. Hi, everybody. Hi. Just being human is a strange thing. We have these amazing gifts. We have these creative talents to create our lives in so many ways, and so many humans on planet Earth spend their time worrying and creating stuff they don't want. When it would take really about the same amount of energy to create your life the way you want it. And I'm not talking about you, I'm talking about everybody else. No, the truth is we're all still working on that. We're all still prone to live in what's called the first kingdom. You remember the four kingdoms? To me, by me, through me, as me? Most people live in a world where life happens to them. Stuff happens to them. Now we come here and we work ourselves into a place where we say life happens by us. We do it. And that's nice. But we still got to get beyond, even beyond that, to the place where we recognize the presence of the divine within us is the thing that is creating our lives. And it's like Rumi says that we're taking a gold stake and putting it in the wall and hanging a pot on it. That's about the level of what we're doing with our creative abilities. We're not developed as far as we can go. We're still in that process. And, I'm saying this, and I want you to know I'm not making us wrong for it. It's the natural thing. In fact, when you study human nature, this is what is natural for people, to focus on what's happening in their lives and to make that the reality that they live by. Most people do that. I do it. I find that happening all the time. If I didn't, I could never be unhappy or upset or dissatisfied with anything. And I'm pretty regularly dissatisfied. So I don't want to say like, I got this figured out. I'm just aware of it. And I'm talking to me today to say, I want to be out of that first kingdom in my life. I want to play in that place where I'm not disappointed, where whatever happens, I recognize that is a creative thing that happened because I had a thought, because I had an idea, because I had a feeling. And by doing that, I want to get beyond this idea that somehow life happens to me. I want to live in a better world than that. And I think we all, at some level, want that. I mean, and nobody really wants to make your problems your priority, but that's what we do. We think all day long about that thing that's not working out very well, and how we really don't like that. And we wish that wasn't going on. And then we start asking ourselves questions like, why did I do this? That's a totally stupid question, but we all do it. Why did I do this? What's the focus of that? Well, the thing you don't want. You know, we ask ourselves questions like, how much, or I noticed that we spend a lot of our day asking questions about why isn't our life working out like we want it to? You know, that's the issue, is that whatever we focus on is what reflects back to us. It's the science of mind symbol. You know, the V, the thing that looks like a V, it's not a V. It's a motion sensor. It says that we experience something in physical form. We see it happen in our lives and we go, that's the way life is. And guess what happens? The same thing over and over, because every time we go, yep, that's it, yep, that's it, yep, that's it, and we keep getting the same result. I mean, it may include different people. Those are called marriages. But the truth is that if we hold on to an idea about the way life is, it will keep manifesting in our lives. It may look different to you, but to the rest of us, it looks the same. So what do we do in place of that? How do we get beyond that? I don't like the why question. Why do we struggle at times in our lives? Why don't we have that pristine life that we want? And what I've come to in my own experience is that the thing that is the antithesis of that worrying and troubling and trying to work through stuff is to have a vision. Now, I'm not talking about the kind of visioning that Lissa and the visioning team do. Carolini's in that too. I'm not talking about that kind of visioning. I'm talking about having a vision in your life for the way you'd like it to be. We all have some idea what that might look like. Yet we spend so much of our day not thinking about that. We think about what's not working, as though that will help. It won't. What will help is if we focus on the way we'd like our life to be. Now, I have to do a caveat to this because it's not just that easy. I know when I teach spiritual mind treatment, and Dr. Kate Grace and I are talking about doing a class on treatment, what I see happens is I go, okay, for the class, we're going to do treatment on one thing in your life that you would like to see happen. And I inevitably get the people who go, yeah, like I have so many things. Why do I have to focus on one? Well, because focusing on one, you've got a better chance of getting it. There's a wonderful book called The One Thing by Gary Keller of Keller Williams Realty. He built his commercial enterprise on this idea that we all have one thing that's most important in our lives at any one time. And then if we'll just focus on that, we'll likely get it if we really commit ourselves to it and really move forward with that one thing. He says that people that think they're multitasking, that what they're really accomplishing is some amazing mediocrity in their lives. Now, I know there are those among you that think you can multitask, but all the research says that it's not really an effective way to be alive. That the way that life gets done is when you focus on one thing and do that. So that's what I've been working on. Actually, I've got a book project that I started a good 6 years ago and set it down. And then every time I came out, oh, I really should do that. And then when August Gold was here a couple of years ago, was it 2 years? Wow. She was like in my face saying, you can't get any of these other things done that you want to do if you still haven't finished that. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it stuck with me. And I said, okay, if there's one thing to do to get moving forward in my life is to finish my book. Finish that book so that you can move on to the next thing. So I've been working with Joe Neely, the guy that used to play piano over here for us. He's still in town, and he's quite an editor, and he and I have been working on this, and it's almost done. I'm so excited. So this idea of focusing on a vision, to me means pick that thing, that one thing in your life, and commit yourself to it. And I came up with a list of ideas on how that would work. That's what I want to share with you. Bringing your vision to life. The first idea is find your vision. You got to have a vision. But you know what? It's not out there somewhere. It's not out somewhere else. It's inside of you. And I'm not talking about inside your body. It's inside your consciousness. There's something in you that knows exactly what is yours to do. And then you bring it out. How do you bring it out? Well, you talk about it, you think about it, you create it into your life. And that's really what we're going to do, is we're going to talk about bringing it out. And the way we do that is take time every day to focus on your vision. Barbara and I are still doing that thing that Mae McCarthy started with us last summer about doing a CSO letter. And if you're doing, who's doing that? How many people are doing that? Oh, people are still doing that. That's wonderful. So that's great. You're going to learn about that next month. First Sunday next month, Mae's going to be here and she's going to explain that. June. It's May. Thank you very much. And what that is, it's a time at the beginning of the day when you just flat focus on that thing. What is it in your life that you want to create? Now, she's going to tell you you can do a bunch of them, but I found if I just stay focused mainly on the one thing and think about how that's looking and what the next step is and all of that, that what happens is it actually moves forward. It moves forward because I think about it all the time. So I'm telling you, when you know what your next step is, that vision in your life for the next thing to do, focus on it, talk about it, think about it all the time. That's what's going to make it happen. And here's the other little thing that really helps, especially with this book. Do something. You know, you want to energize with it. You want to, but I tell you what, thinking, we know in the science of mind that thinking is powerful. But I tell you what, doing something is something too. Do something. And that's what I've done with this. It's been wonderful with this book. I get up in the morning, I do my spiritual practice with Barbara, which includes drinking my coffee. And then I get up and I come over here and I go into my office and I close the door. And I sit there and I say, okay, what's next? And Joe's helped me with that because he's created my priorities. So whatever the chapter is before me, I sit down and we work on it. And I don't know where all these good ideas come from. But what I've done is I wrote the chapters a long time ago, but now he gives me back these chapters with his thoughts and his edits and says, go back to it, and I do, and there's more to say. There's more to say about that, and I'm just going, this is amazing. And at the end of that couple of hours that I just do that, I'm so invigorated. I'm so full of energy because I actually accomplished something. Yay! So do something with that thing that you know is yours to do. Do something. Something every day. You don't spend a lot of time on it, but you got to do something or you won't progress forward with it. You'll do what I did for a few years with that book. You'll go, I really should do something with that. You know, that doesn't help. And shoulds just will not get you where you want to go. You've got to do something. So do something. That's 3. Number 4 is hold up your vision. Be proud of it. Tell people that you trust about it, what you're working on. This is what I'm working on. Let them look at you and go, that's great, good for you, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that you're doing that. Someone in my life that has been really good at doing that, Barbara's good at everything, but beyond that is Kathy Krebs. She'll let me know that where I'm headed, what I'm talking about doing is important in my life. And I want you to know, Kathy, how much I appreciate that. How wonderful you've been at that with me over the years. Even when you were scolding me, it was wonderful. Because I obviously needed it. So be proud of what it is you're doing. Be proud of this idea that you have that you want to bring to the world. And it doesn't matter what it's about. It doesn't have to be about business. It doesn't have to be about a profession. It can be about a relationship. It can be about something that you're doing in the world that is important to you. It doesn't matter what other people think. But it's nice to find a few people, which is, I believe, the next one. Yeah, form some partnerships. Find some folks that you can keep apprised of how you're doing. And it's not, you could say it's about having them hold you accountable, but that's kind of rigid. It's more about letting them celebrate with you that you're making progress. Let them know that you're doing that, and do that for them. There's this wonderful thing when you hold someone else up in the world, you're held up, you're lifted up. No one does that separately. And we certainly don't raise people up above ourselves, so when they come up, we come up. Everybody feels better. Everybody feels more included in life. Be tenacious. I love that word tenacious about manifesting your vision. Keep seeing the end. I've been finding myself seeing the cover of the book. You know, that's an end point. Like, you get to do that last. So I've been at that place of actually seeing it. It was fun to have Devon hold up May's book today. You know, because that's what it is. It's something you can hold up. It's a physical thing, filled with ideas. I love that. For me, that's what's working for me. That doesn't even have to be what yours is, but be tenacious. Stay with it. Find how to get to that point that you can envision. See it happen. That's so important. And a little inside track here is use the science of mind principles to bring it about. Treat for it. Treat knowing it's so. One thing I teach my practitioners to do with treatment is to treat for something they already have. To do that for 30 days. Treat for something that they can point at and touch and feel and that they have that they're very happy about. And the idea of that is that if you have a new car, I have a new truck, I love my truck. If I can treat my truck every day for a month, knowing that I have this wonderful truck, that doesn't sound silly to me. That should be the consciousness we use for everything we treat for. That it's so real, that you can touch it. Yeah, I can, I go out there and touch it. You know? So that's the thing that you want to do is use this teaching to know that you are creating your life. You are manifesting your life at every level, in every way. You're doing it. So let it happen according to that. And you will have that idea, that outcome that you so desire in your life. These are, I think, the ways that you would do that. So what does Dr. Holmes say about this? How does he guide us in this direction? I love this quote. We are not sinners. We are not lost souls. We are not destitute. We are not on the road to hell. Thank God. We're divine beings already in the kingdom of God. It is here in us. But we must awaken to the apathetic sleep of our own delusions into the glorious recognition that we already have that which we aspire toward. We already have that which we aspire toward. It is ours now. Yes. That's it. Whatever it is in you that wants that, it's really there. Already. It's already, it couldn't be within you if it wasn't real. It's already real. So let it be real. This is an amazing community. Those letters, God, we're so good. I mean, that so speaks to who we are and what our purpose is as a community. And if we had a vision, which I think we do, I want to share with you what it is. You've heard us say it many times around here. And when I think these words, they speak to me of the vision of who we are as a community. We are a place of peace. That's who we are. Is that right, Celeste? Yes, we are. We're a place of peace. We're a place where we step aside. We had a little meeting over here this morning, a little impromptu meeting. And we're talking about some of the crazy bills and laws that are being passed in North Carolina and Mississippi and now in Tennessee. Our organization is not going to be meeting next year in Nashville because they've passed laws that are very discriminatory toward LGBT individuals, and we can't do it. As much as I was rooting for Tennessee to pull it off, we're just not going to do that. And someone sent me an email and said, well, that must have been a very hard decision. And I had to respond and say, it really wasn't. You know, I wasn't happy about it because we're going to lose a lot of money doing that. But what's money? What's money when you can't show the world who we are and that doesn't work to discriminate? Ernest Holmes said that we must be bigger than ourselves. We must be bigger than our ideas, that we have to put our arms around all of humanity. Nobody gets left out. That's the truth of who we are. But we can't do it by going to war. How do you put your arms around humanity and go to war? So we bless the good people of Tennessee. And we know that they are on a path of awakening. And we're going to do something else. Because we're a peaceful people. We're not going to go to war with them. We're just going to love them and bless them and release them and do what we need to do. So That idea is our big organization idea, and the idea here is that this is a safe place. That conversation we had over here, which is where I started, really Barbara kept saying as the conversation about the different laws and the different things we don't understand that have come up happened, Barbara would continue to say, and this is a safe place. This is a safe place. We have a safe place here. We do. We do. So if you in your life find that you are not at peace, all you have to do is remember. Remember who you are. Remember how this is the foundation of your spiritual identity. If you need to, call a practitioner. They will remember that you are at peace. They will remember. If you can't in the moment, and then you will remember again. We're a place of peace. We're a beacon of light. I sure worked them on. Yours and Rodney's keeping that website up so that we can take these teachings far beyond these walls. We're a beacon of light. Because what we know, we want to share with the world. We say in our big organization that we want a world that works for everyone, that's where we're going. And I am so clear on this, that we will have a world that works for everyone, when everyone knows how it works. When everybody understands that they're creating their experience. When everyone can stand tall and say the presence of the divine dwells at the point of need. When we can do that as a species, there will be only peace. There will be only prosperity. And that's where we're going. We are on the cutting edge of that, creating that in the world. And by having the ability to send these messages out into the world, we're making that happen. Have no doubt that's what's happening. We're a tower of strength. And I believe that our strength is not a physical strength, it is a strength of character. Because we call ourselves accountable. We hold ourselves accountable to live in these principles, to live by these principles, and to support one another. Not to police one another, but to support one another in knowing this. We come to this safe place, this place of peace, so that we can work through our stuff, so that we can get past these ideas that somehow we don't have enough, or that we are somehow limited or deficit in any way, because we are not. We are the presence of the divine, living on planet Earth, doing amazing work. And when one of our children isn't accepted in a school because they come here to this center, we don't make a fuss. We know that somehow that's a blessing and there's a better way for Joe to get his education. And we will love him, and we will support him, and we will lift him up no matter what. That's who we are. Yeah. We are a tower of strength. And we are a fountain of wisdom. Because we have the teachings that will change the world. And I don't want to tell you that we are better than anyone else. We're not. We're human beings on planet Earth. The spiritual presence that is in us is in everybody, everywhere. Ours, though, is that we get to know that. We get to know that, and we get to use that. So I want you to know that these ideas as the vision for our community and what we bring to the world impact you. They hold you at that place that this is yours to create, whatever is yours to create. And that there is nothing in your way but an idea or a feeling within you that would somehow slow you down. So I want to invite you now to step inside yourself. If you want, close your eyes. I'm going to close mine. To be in a space of knowing that there is something unique about you. Something that you are bringing to the world. A vision of some action, some outcome, some condition that only you can facilitate and inform. It's the thing for you to do. And if you do 1,000 other things, it doesn't matter. That's the thing to do. See if you can find it on the inside. It's not outside. You should don't go looking out there somewhere. It's right at the point of view. See if you can find it. Let it be your friend. And I'm feeling that many of you already got it. But I want to give a moment more to anyone that's going, I don't know. Because the greater truth is you do know. And even if you don't find it in this moment, yours is to know whatever it is. And again, it doesn't have to be a world-changing thing. It just needs to be yours. And in this moment, if you're willing, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. Because it doesn't matter who else you commit to with this. It's only about you. Make a commitment to yourself that that thing that came forward just now is a reality in form that all can see and know. And because of you, the world is a better place. Make it happen. Only you. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I don't want you to raise your hands. I just want you to know that I know that you have something extraordinary to bring to the world that no one else can bring. And I will know that for you every day of my life. And we are in this together. It's a good thing. I love you so much. Thank you.